Emotions are always present in learning. CAST research scientists Gabrielle Rappolt-Schlickman and Samantha Daly discuss the concept of appraisal and the central role it plays in shaping experiences.
So one of the core assumptions under Universal Design for Learning is the idea that emotion and cognition are co-regulated. And what that means is that if you think about the process of thinking and learning, it is at once emotional and cognitive. And so when you think about the design of educational environments, or when you think about evaluating or researching how kids and teachers experience educational environments from a UDL perspective, you would need to consider both emotion and cognition.
If we're thinking about the role of emotions or the relationship between emotion and cognition in learning, probably the most central idea to consider is the role of appraisals. And when we talk about appraisals, what we mean is an individual's perception of a given task or environment or situation or activity or interaction, their perception of a situation as being either beneficial for them or potentially harmful or dangerous to them.
There are two core dimensions to emotions, the sort of core affect or root biological dimensions to emotion that are important to think about. One is valence, so that is how positive or negative do you feel about a situation. The other is activation level, so how aroused or activated do you feel in response to the environment. As you experience anything in the environment, social, a task, in school, anything basically, you walk into a room, you appraise that environment in a continuous way along those two dimensions.
This kind of perception or appraisal happens all the time at a very subconscious, let's say, level, where we're always evaluating our environment. And you can understand from an evolutionary perspective why this is very important, having this constant appraisal happening about, is this somewhere that I want to be, somewhere that's going to be good for me, or is this something that really I should be trying to either fight or get away from?
The environment in and of itself is not negative or activating. It's based on, it is how you perceive the environment. You come into the environment, and because you previously had a highly negative experience in that space, even if it seems benign, you might experience in a negative way. So for example, a student who has failed in reading comes into school and the teacher tells them that they're going to have to read this textbook or that they're going to start in a remedial reading program. That in and of itself is a benign experience, but because they have failed, they might tend to go toward this highly negative or aroused state, which, because thinking and learning are at once emotional and cognitive, will highly constrain how that child's able to perform.
From all of the array of possible responses, if we have a positive appraisal, we're going to be better able to think creatively, flexibly, choose from all sorts of different possible options, use various strategies. Our working memory is going to function better, all of these things. If we have a more negative appraisal, we're necessarily going to get into more of a sort of fight or flight kind of mode. Our thinking is going to be constrained and narrowed, and we're not going to be able to access all of the benefits of having a more positive appraisal.
This is a core phenomenon of emotion, the appraisal phenomenon, that is really important for organizing how we're able to behave, our emotional experiences and cognitive experiences in the context of school.